Lots of the numbers normal sound delay.
So, Toshile to everyone, welcome to Shide.
Last of the ningas on the datum once again. That ring got so Georgia got so Sevaton. Docha Zetel Caper Carriores to Georgia Tingle Jerry.
So today in Eskamang, this session, so we are going to focus at least the first few minutes in the topic of the difference between genuine love and attachment, right?
Last of the Tanda got so non-chunal. Docha Zeata Seva Zeata so. Same ganon Capra Mombo Chichini, the same John Zeati Conto Shegore, Kirtan Sem dans same Johns in Rigni Chegore.
Actually, we have many difference of genuine love and attachment. So we can explain in different ways, and mainly we can also explain in difference like in being the main mind and secondary minds.
And so same de la you are to do Chigio. Then is him John the Litsan of Chinachi Shegore. This is Martha, you are Chinachi.
If you understand what means consciousness, mind, consciousness, so we can define consciousness, we can divide or we can perceive consciousness in 6 different ways, and also like the main minds and the secondary minds. Talking about just secondary minds, we have many kind of presentations, and one of them is they divide in 51 secondary minds.
Also, the same John Archik the data trick knowledge journey, and the control yearning give out just to Sanyo to Nino in your show. Jan Jurges in what they say to know much or it longer that you.
And in the presentation of the secondary minds, like this flow of minds here, and so we have the main minds and secondary minds, right? So the secondary minds, like we can present in many different ways, and some of them, like if we have 6 categories of secondary minds, within 6 categories of secondary minds, we find 51 secondary or mental factors. I don't know if someone already studied a little bit of consciousness. So we have 51 mental factors. In these 51 mental factors, so we have the operated factors, the secondary minds, and then we have the virtuous mind, we have the unvirtuous minds, and so forth.
Also, Tanitanda, so Seva Zeat, same John, Tanda Napching Chicanoni, Congo Contoy Resina, give up just or give up just Chicanoni, Tanda number Mensi give us the in the Gore.
Number Mensi.
No, number Mensi, not Gen Siame Pazé, Consensual per Diachua, what?
And in this presentation of 51 mental factors, you can also see it in the floor if you feel like, then you don't be like that, because he's pretty much bigger than you. and so yes, within the presentation of the 51 mental factors goes under the love, the genuine love goes in the virtuous factor, right? Virtuous mental factors, and this virtuous mental factor, the love that is composed in the mental factor, in the virtuous mental factor, is the same genuine love that usually His Holiness presents.
So, Tanda, the Chana Taran, Savi Nomon, Batrix, Nomondel, and so Kangetria, Nomondel, Desan, Trick Chambachi, and Yesha Chambachi, and the Trick at Savi, the show canals, and it tombon Dochas, and it got tombo Jayore, and Docha control Natia Maru Pates, Tower Tricks, in it Savi Nomon, Batri Jayore.
And within the among all of the mental factors or secondary minds, we have also not just good minds, but also we have the bad side or the non-virtuous minds. So the main non-virtuous minds that we call like the root afflictions, they are 6. And the main root afflictions that we present is that we study is attachment. So attachment is condensed in the main afflictions, rather than the genuine love is condensed in the virtuous mind.
Last what any time that's Georgia Tanda Seva Zeata, Docha Zeata, Kapar Country or Resity, so Nangamal, Tinishik by Zeni, Tinichon Resenite, Nachu Nalima Caprashi on the Tinin Drag Mari, when you get on the Tanga Caparta, so when you drag Mares in his own.
And many people can understand that actually love and attachment, or genuine love and attachment, they are sort of same. But actually, if you really understand and study the scriptures or the psychological tests, then the difference are huge. And it's so clear the difference that we can even present the difference even in cause, what caused each mind to rise, and also some qualities or some main differences.
Lasso tanda tani koni le jag chapar mandra kari orisi tin do cha zeate so so rando giche terese so so karno rando mato jen le pemba ga savlo tani giche sa te li ke orisi karno ze granga so karno rando res tanda seva zeate karno jendo res jala pansim goni ke ore mato so so tonda mares.
Okay, so let's start with the what is the difference of cause. So the love and attachment. So you can also like try to put into practice, try to recollect when you feel attachment and when you feel love. So the cause of attachment and love is the cause of attachment. What do we think? So the cause of attachment is for self-benefit. So self-benefit, and cause of love, genuine love, is to benefit others.
Lasso tanda zewa kortende zewa zedia ta namba ga su ta tanda chamba ta ninje zea ta chore chamba ta ninje zea ta kandin de chi ore zidi chamba ta ko ma jamba le deke chona sambi savlo chi re gore ninje zea ta jan le dingar ma chona sambi savlo chi re gore ma jamba zena semchan samal nji kare otendi sonza ko ni ketani drapo chamba ta ninje ni kala zewa ze gore tini drapo yo pala chikta te ze gadro ko chapan ro ma to chi pashi gore.
So and also just before going carrying on with these differences, what do you understand as love, right? The genuine love that we are talking here, which is a secondary mind. The secondary minds, like the virtual secondary minds, so we have many of them, and two of them, they are similar in the aspect, which is genuine love and compassion. So love and compassion, love and compassion. And what we understand as love, what we understand as compassion. So love is that mind, is that attitude, is that aspiration to see everyone completely fulfilled of happiness and the causes of happiness. So this is love. This is what we consider as love. On the other hand, compassion is that attitude or that mental attitude of wishing to see everyone completely free of any kind of suffering and its causes. Okay, and so this is what we understand as love and compassion. Clear?
Lasso tani tanda do cha zea ta zatang chapar mandra kar zeti do cha zea tam zot so gna chori ban ro shi ore korung pa chon do cha ke sa ga yer tal jala yo mari zaya ton ya ko ya mi kan za tan ro mandra ke gri ina ya ko ke chu tal pa sho te yak po ching ton na ma to do cha zea te ke wo ma yak po zun to ma se yak po tal pa dro ta ni kya chembo zo ni tani do cha zea te yer len chi ko ore
Comment ça?
do cha zea te yer len chi zena ha ko
Yul, ha.
kon zan tan te
A dizer,
ina ya
cala xixi queres ainda.
ko do cha ke sa yer le mi zea ta tendro zea ta chala zea khabar yo mar
Yeah, and so and on the other hand, like attachment, the way that they perceive the object, how that attitude of attachment, how it manifests, so how it apprehend whatever is attached. First of all, like for the attachment, there's no different if it's a thing, a situation, an animal, a person, doesn't matter. Anything that when the attachment aim to a certain object or a certain thing to attached, how this attachment manifests in the sense of perceiving just the quality side, the quality or the positive side of that situation, aspect, object, and so forth. Just the quality, doesn't see anything else besides of the quality of that of the object that is visualizing.
so tendi yet yo ala draw tani chachim which is on the ni lo koro lo sama tel shorni ta so le tom do kulo keni ta tani do pa da mai par tanga so shogol nam ya pa na je kuni kaka zo ko na chang kale ka poteni chando re
and the attachment is sort of sticks to the object, like makes us to stick to the object of attachment, just like if you put some glue in our hand and then touch the sheet of paper, so the sheet of paper just stick to our hand. It's like that. This is the function of attachment towards the object of attachment.
Lasso seva zea teli do te tal pa shote zota ya po ina ri tsoa ina kar chapar yo mari jiksa te an semcha ma to yo mari chala ta to sol seva zea yo mari pasho tele yakpo chik tang dewa chik tang tenri chik chona pasho ko zota tang tenri ki chapar chikam me chini tenri jinke chik re.
On the other hand, like the genuine love is the opposite of this. The genuine love doesn't care about the form or how the person, the qualities that immediately is perceived. Even like if the person, let's say if the person is ugly or is, like he's strange and so forth, doesn't matter. You really like be attracted to that person out of love, out of on others' benefit.
라서 어선 자카리 카르레지디 그 파쇼트 약보 정나 삼고디 파쇼트 야요메타 드야요메 든지 정 마리 셈차 간지지나 강에 마정나 대와 정나 삼비 로시 손사 고 이르 캬버메 체닌지가네 손사 잔탕 캬버텐지 지고레
Because the secondary mind or the attitude of genuine love, when it's present within us, when visualize or when sees the object of love, actually doesn't matter which kind of form, form it has, the other person, situation, or the object has, because the main aspiration, the main wish of that attitude of love is to see that person or that situation, that object good, happy, and so forth. So it doesn't matter if it's far or close, doesn't matter, far or close, just wants to be attracted to that person in order to benefit that person.
노차텔리 돈이 란도 바지 손사 파쇼트 야폰 진토나 코텔렌지 그레마토 야본 메아지는 tel soso tomdon chakame sonsa ke name tanja kare.
And for attachment, actually, like just is attract to that object or to attract to that person if considers nice. If that person, if the person who is attached to consider the other person, the object of attachment, like nice or beautiful and so forth. Why? Because it's for one's own benefit. Because I want to be with one nice person. I want to be with a beautiful person and so forth. So out of one's own benefit, the attached person is driven towards the other person.
Any tanda nabji chansonal thing is chikpan roji raise some new mombo chisalo tande the country yungu resina koso chetani mi gela kevi kabli and some sewang oni the lever some chapa lever thing in Japo leondi shorton Japo in sonsa non roya tanji chungu yore.
And sometimes because we consider that both of them, attachment and genuine love, is the same. And so we cannot different. Sometimes actually, when we are under the force of attachment or when we are under the force of love, this can happen. Both of them, they can happen. This right out of love or out of attachment, we are attracted to the other person, but we don't recognize actually if it's under attachment and love, and because we don't understand the difference or we don't recognize by which force we are being driven by, and so for this reason then many problems actually come in the relationships.
You know, I can't go to Caparcheto resina seva zeat leon di pasho soso seva chesat kaze yari son kaze kirizo yapo chansona ko gari mato control aya tetanji magawa chegmare.
And how can we understand the difference? Oh, now I'm driven by love, or I'm driven by attachment. If I am driven by attachment, no. If I'm driven by love, what is the sensations that I have? When I look at the person that I am in love with, or that I have genuine love, not in love, but I have genuine love, doesn't matter which kind of, what happened to that person. If that person is just being successful, or has something better, or is happy, and so forth, like we become so happy. We really rejoice to see the other person happy, because this is the function of love.
Tanda chapa yerla karike riziti so top dena tat kol chipa chikang andal stewa yo yapo yo sam chiori da nyamachi ko so likachari pena garota zasandra o na so likacha nikolo teli ya chiknyamda tam mayan teli ya yonde an teli che pamjo tenji che ko yarin rojana ko so control on sem ke ganga nal matsendro am ko gawa chuni ke mar rando yimba te ga ko gore.
And when actually we are driven by attachment, how do we recognize that actually it's attachment that is the boss of that moment? How do we know this? Is that if I see that the person which I am attached to happy, since that person is also giving me the same happiness that I want, then it's fine. Then I think it's okay. Then I'm happy to the happiness of the other person. Why? Because actually it's bringing me the happiness that I want. Actually, if that person after have other things, have more things, have different things, or goes far from me in order to achieve the other's happiness, then I become frustrated. Then I become unhappy. Then I become like, angry and so forth. This is actually the sign that actually I was driven by attachment towards the person, which just look at my own benefit.
And 남긴 지가 자산으로 든지 발로 슈직 세와요 케 슈직 잠방 걸 제톱스니 오니 남기 소소를 톤니 되어도 소소 잘라이 손 나진직 사울로 타니 슈직 제토그레다 냐마직 소소 카터 손이니 카르텔 사울로 베팅저니 산제트 조나로 mambo 통도 아든지 세자 든지 mambo 용도 아테 손자테 세와 코로만 바란도 매직 소소 돈다 진접 손나테 마토 사울로 메파타 사보 사이칸레
And forget about what is written in the text or just studying the text and so forth. We know this by our own experiences, isn't it? Like we can really like experience this in our daily life, even like towards things. If we are attached to the things that we have, if these things are I don't know, if we miss the thing or if it's broken and so forth, like immediately we become unhappy and unease. And if someone takes this thing from us, like we can even see in the newspaper that when someone's like steal something, someone even kills others out of the attachment to the thing that it was too attached. And so this we have our own experience that how bad is to be driven by the force of attachment.
손자 남기 나추고 나는 도착해야들 왕데 손세나 딱고 도착을 고타 손에 도착을 레카 참마테잖아 소송 거고 타니 네캅치기 약본로치 요레탄 타말케 드리 타니 강이 나를 세야마도 그 데키 나를 책 마레즈니 나추고 던지데시 자오레.
And in the Buddhist psychological texts, it's written very clear that actually the function of attachment is this, like is to bring us a false or temporarily happiness, like sense of well-being, as long as we are close to the thing that we are attached, but actually just bring, and in the end of the day or of the week and so forth, just will bring us problems and so much suffering.
들리도때다 원이 잠바다 세완다 지요나 다 자상이나리 김상이나리 쪽보이나리 가르 벌리나 라사 난다고 파쇼티 포치 존나 가니치이나 고 타말 카타소나 콜강에 요마리 파쇼티 포리니 데요데오 탄릭 손사니 사블로테 용거리 오 텐리라오레.
And on the other hand, when one is driven by love, by genuine love, doesn't matter like if you have some problems or so forth, as long as we are we really have the relationship with love, so it's okay since the person is happy, since the person is being benefited, so we are really happy even if that person goes separate from us, goes far from us, or has different opinion, doesn't matter. Since the person is happy, genuinely happy, and so we also are happy for that person. So this is the function of the mind, the attitude mind of genuine love.
Tani tandan jambayanga so dochalo gota sona dochak zeati milen dopa mambochi leongori goya mari mato nyori ro ma goya mari ona so michile mambochi jupto nipati yo mari nipa me sonza kali pa tonda tamandromne ni semle kange mambonche semshi chaya jikta kewa ngansap kewa tana tamal soso sem landro atndie yongore.
Yes, and since the attachment is that great mind also, right? That wants to be all the time next to the object or the person, so forth, like, and just wants to be always together or having more and more and more, right? This is out of attachment, and actually, it's not real. That is not real. It's not a reality to always having more and all the time together and so forth. Like, never this will come reality. And so for this reason, all the time that we are under the force of attachment, actually we will experience problems. And this, which kind of problem actually is mental problem, emotional mental problem. Like people get frustrated, get sad, sometimes even anxious because wants to be all the time together, and then because it's completely impossible to keep having more or all the time together, and so sometimes even like become depressed and sometimes even crazy, you know.
Naso tanda namgini tserik ta tanji gina ashe gorize ndocha zeyata soso son kepche ata jedan zeyata jakaya tanji mato ndocha jedan zeyata nambi shia naji meba zona yongo mari te njoa maching tsoto ayo mari sewala teni tsoto ayo mari tanji la goris.
And even the scientists, in the sense of like the contemporaneous medicine and psychological scientists and so forth, they do agree. They are really bringing this theory up to that is, well, yes, actually, as long as we are under the force of attachment and anger, we will never accomplish anything that we really want as long as we don't really cultivate and go under the force of love, genuine love. And so all of our happiness and the result that we want to experience is not going to be accomplished.
La so ina yang nga so she na do cha ze ta non tri chang do cha ta control non tri chang lam la kan ro ma ta ko ta chi ko so chop che sam da te yong da yong yo sa ri te men la ma ri yo an do cha ta control da ka ya do cha ka so chop che ten ri le te chen ro go sa te su te sem jo kan ro nga ga de shi tan de che ze ya te ngo ni chon ni so ga tan da nga so ser ki shi ga so chop ze ya te ngo ni che na te che yo sa ri sa mu du de shi ze de ya te ka ri ze na ja ta nyen da kar bo ta mar bo ta chen bo ta chon chon la so pe cham ma khabar che ya te ri the chase ya the tijil your go sala your tro go sala tro jig go sala jig karche go tani go sem jo jamba ni yore
그래 그래서
tanda na so chadani ka son kyop che de shi tan de che ka son kyop ngoni che gre
and yes, it's true that some people might think that, well, sometimes we need it's necessary to have attachment and also anger, because we can protect ourselves and we can also have force, like have strength in order to accomplish things. Well, you can think this in a very temporary and very short term, like very, very small benefit, like immediate benefit. Maybe this can appear as being beneficial, like to have attachment and anger within us. But actually, the most important is, first of all, to understand that in long term, this really is harmful. And also to understand that even in this presentation of the secondary minds, the 5 first secondary minds, which is the pervasive secondary minds, either like the discrimination and either the intentions, they have to be used, because the discrimination is the discrimination mental factor is that can understand what is can differentiate objects, for example, what is red, what is white, what is yellow, and so forth, and also like to take the proper path, like, oh, this is good and this is bad, and so forth.
Last so tanda so da nga so chen so na le cha da me na yang ko de shi tan de che ni ka so ja nyen dang de so ta kya par che to re so za nam yin jam se la tem ba yin na pa sho la sam nam ta ka le ka che samba kar pa sho te ki po ta de po chona ta ran rig de yang sa lo chang ta na mi sa na lo yin na re pa ma pa ye yin na re na za ta na yin na re te so cha ma ge te pan kare so la sam nam ta che on di ni ki po yon a ta deli do te so ndo pa ta ma na tani nyota zo de na kare zeti magni re ma to ki mischi ma re ran so le sa lo ta ran so ndo pa re chiki sa ma yon yo ma re cho yon ni sa lo ja chen bo ta go re mo ka ma yon ko ran yo ma re.
And because all of us all the time we have these two attitudes of discrimination and intention, so because of this, like if you really like put into practice and cultivate all your attitudes on the top of love and genuine love, so it doesn't matter which kind of relationship, even like a relationship at home with your neighbors, friends, classmates, or partners, and so forth, workmates, and so forth, it's always is going to be like in a very smooth way, like all the rumors and the collisions will not exist. On the other hand, like if the nature of our relationships is based on attachment, so even like if it's two people, like it will bring problems. Why? Because when you are relating to other persons, so it's not just your own wish, your own desire, your own opinion that is worthy in that moment. Like you have to understand the situation, you have to share with others, like understand that there is another opinion also running on there, right? And so yes, you have to choose properly in which kind of attitude you have to act.
So za so nam ji gen den do cha ze ya nga so lo ge ta che gri to ka gwa ti li la po chi yo ma ri tang ya na yang se wa ta so sho le so lo shi che zi ta ni lo ja ka li ke go re mo li la wo chi ke sem ze ya tin ge wa ta to yo ma ri a so gom jab ze ya te an tin je so ro yang da yang de sem ba tan ja tang to gom bi lam sin ni gom lam ya ze ya ka ti ya na ti ya sho le sa lo ta du sho te pa te ka to ta ni ti so ji rim bo chin ro go re mo ge ni ma chi ni chi le zan da chi ni ya ta ni pa sho ta ja na chi kam pen to yo ma ri so za
and so if it's possible, you can again and again cultivate the thoughts of bringing awareness of the defeats of attachment and the qualities of genuine love and compassion and so forth. But of course, like we are so habituated for such a long time to act on the top of attachment that it's not going to be easy to to change the way of perceiving things and so forth. But you have to go. It's not just listening to 1, 2, 3 classes or reading 1, 2 books and so forth, or having a nice conversation here and then, that these kind of attitudes will transform. But you have to think in a long term, like really like reflect again and again, even meditate again and again within these in these two different minds. Then definitely is going to be beneficial for you.
Also, the chick same the calling you are chick down and same result you are me patch ya mari not some number in the trapa there and there and remember message so chick both there and the chiorita. Then the chick can each one take as you share your mari. So that then I won't row in that and chick both there at your marta. Some look at Chembot and the coy on which and any message boy umbre. Kundwa.
And if one really like guides one's own life to do that is interesting. And if one guides one's own life with the love and caring attitude, like really it's going to be very smooth and very happy. Doesn't matter, like for example for us monastics, so we have like less objects of attachment so forth, but it's still like we relate all the time to all the time with everyone, and so we at least have less expectations and so forth. And likewise, mainly like you guys, like you lay people, have like more this kind of relationships and so forth. And so if you can really like cultivate these attitudes of the way of thinking in a more concerning and genuine caring love, and so definitely it's going to be beneficial for you.
Then chicken so triangle path on Mundo.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, so now I'm gonna leave a little bit in the presentation here, so to open space for questions. So whatever question you want to do, people at home also, any kind of questions related or not to the topic of today. While you think about your questions, so I just want to show you one book. Você me passa, por favor, esse book, esse livro. Não, daquele. O da ciência. O que está embaixo. Esse que está embaixo. O de baixo. Esse. And so there is one book here that usually we present here. That is this book, for example, this book here in the second volume. So this book in the second volume is the whole presentation of minds and all the minds and mental factors, the main minds and the secondary minds. Like we are not telling, so no worries, you don't need to to worry about it. But in the sense of if you really go to the chapter of love, compassion, and also here there is the chapters of all the non-virtuous minds and all afflictive minds, just like attachment and so forth. And so here there is many like reasons and giving all the qualities and the defeats of each mind, and this is really like brings you so fuel for your meditation and for your reflections in this. And so this is a very good book also. Okay, maybe a little bit scary, but the part of love and a part of attachment is a thing. No need to worry. And also there is in PDF. If you want, we can share you after. Okay, just for you to know that there is this possibility. Isn't it, Perry?
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Julieta.
I have a question. When you can really realize what is the second mind, when I feel this way. Sometimes a thought comes and I don't know where it comes, but it does disturbs. It's not a hallucination. It's just like thoughts coming, flowing, and then you do not understand why do I feel this way, and you don't know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Like if it is they put three minds, right? One, psychology, consciousness, and I don't know the third name, but sometimes I feel you are very well, but then comes your own mind.
Okay, how to differentiate the main mind and the secondary mind, you mean?
Maybe don't know how you would call, but I can say me present, okay? I feel I'm very fine, okay? But then suddenly, like in my mind comes another thought or another feeling, and then you don't really know where it comes from.
musim chiguresra. Ani kisra parupurani namtok dramira kigiresra. Ni namtok tucha main paches ni namtok yamenani lo dramira namtok radira. Namtok dramira kisi paresra. De kabla ngakandres musim che tugires ani kisitira. Ani semtan semjumres di otso semtan semjums kandres yewa chigures yamena karishiniro gidus ngitira. Mare tanamtok namtok di kawane jungidus. Namtok di kani jungidus.
Namtok leata.
Namtok gi lentandwa kandres yungire.
Namtok yung tong sina karo.
Cisa, danga so perulani penani helode dwa. Helode be kablani lamsangani kareani tempa dao shikshempo yungure yamena namtok damira ni yungure ra.
Damira change gum.
Damira train yamena damira zo kareinara. Ani de kabla sem zangazi dao chado gires. Ani de kabla nga kipo mainpa dao chado gires. Ani lodi la sora. Lodi ra mare namtok ra. Namtok di kawane jungidus. Kawane jungures.
Ta namtok nam ji tsawa ngoni tu chong sa ta nga zia ta so tsawa chimbo che te la ti ni ma che sa te chong ko. Te la ndra goya ta song kyop che ya tang te li chi go sa ni te tigu mandrig ni te ni namtok sa ma te ni yungu yore ze de gore.
Well, I can explain at least. I can explain at least like this mind that comes or these voices or this mind. I can say that this is the fabricated thought or the ruminating thoughts, the way that usually we translate into English, okay? And in Tibetan we call namtok, okay? It's not a main mind, yes, but it's just different thoughts or fabricated thoughts and so forth, which disturbs our mind that you mentioned, right? So actually, this mind or these voices or all of these, different ideas that all the time comes and when disturbs us, actually usually comes from a wrong perception of we are the perception of to be too precious, like we are too attached to ourselves. We consider ourselves too precious or too good or too big and so forth. And that all of us, we have this. And so when this mind is a little bit too high, and then comes so many fears, comes so many anxieties, comes so many ideas of protecting. I need to protect myself here. I need to have more things there and so forth. And so usually these kind of thoughts that comes and disturbs our mind comes originally from this wrong perception of consider ourselves too precious. So yes?
Yeah, I've got a question based on what this person was saying and what you were explaining about self-cherishing. Do you feel that self-cherishing is one of the blocks to love itself? The value
if you
of
think
love.
what?
Whether self-cherishing is a block to the action of love itself, to the process of love.
Self-love.
That's kind of self-cherishing. I'm so important, etc.
Okay. Ranchin zinse adira. Ani soso karesa, soso ani tsewa daora. Soso tsewa dao ani gom gyabe kable amena soso tsewa dao, soso yapo tang champa dao ani tsina, tsialara. Ranchin zin di kado gyurezi amena pentutus.
Soso tsewa chena ranchin zin la.
Yapore pare.
Ranchin zin zia te kirdani taga soso karze gore dachi che goya chi da yorwa tela o marsu danza nal pachin do ora danza zeatan lo non che chenchi ra so tseli gi pachin za ton wa tenri chi ki chabar yore chamse ta chena gorwa so tsewa gore jambale gore.
Well, actually the self-cherishing mind actually is a wrong mind. It's a mind that perceives in an exaggerated way, in an irreal and exaggerated way of too much precious, like self-preciousness and so forth. And so this is not nice. All of us, we need love. We need love and compassion towards oneself and towards others, definitely. But not like the super exaggerative self-importance and so forth. This is what we call self-cherishing mind. More? Perry? Yes, today we left more time for questions, and so like even questions of daily life. I don't know if maybe you have like difficulties in relationships, in any kind of relationship, and yeah, it's nice what Geshe Rangrig said, but in practical it's completely different, so forth. So this kind of questions I think is better than just, oh, that's nice and eat. But then after going out, it's completely different. No, don't miss this opportunity here now.
So I have a question.
Oh,
in this
good.
case. Like I know what you explained, genuine love and attachment. Now after this course, I understand, and in the real life, I also have this experience that, for example, someone who I love, we were both in love. And one day he said, I met someone who is, I think is better for me. So he left. And I see him very happy with this new person, and I'm suffering.
And then?
So what should I meditate? What should I do to overcome these sufferings?
Okay. Perna ani kawani parula dua. Kawani parula inde de kabla nga tsewa chempo yores. Dison sora. Ani tsewa chempo yore. Ini yang parupura ni kadu gires, kakadu gires. Kakadona ni koka oshema ni rane. Rane ko pe kipo dus. Ina de kabla nga pe. Da kare sem kipo mai bad chazon. Ani de kabla ni ngedu ngel di kande seto gire. Kel si tsewa ina nga zo nyam du yodu tsewa rares. Ine a loka jonata nga dungel di kande seto gires.
Ta dinga seze na tetsa ta tandita khapora ta nga so na shugu she na kitan in do chalang go ta yo mare sin do chalang go ta na ti jinga kangi yo go ta na sin ta do chal kyap chune.
Ale do chala.
Ta nga so kan do chala wan cha treni so so do chang ke do pa na je nga so tan cha na ti jil kangi te yo mare ze go. Kangi yo so za jet chang sa ti jil kangi te le yong gore te parche ma sa me gite te lam re kangi do par ni se to kali ka po yore si na jimani gete na le za za che at ke chem gore
De kabla ni dungel di kande seto gire. De kabla dungel nyo pe dise.
dingar nyo at te che za se ka po res ma sa me gite te la ne re kangi do par ni se de ge sa sa ne re no yong gore te ka po ro res
Sorry.
te so yo na so nan re na ma sa me gite
Well, okay, let's do it in a very practical, not the practical in the sense of how things exist really, okay? So you have to be brave to listen this. So it's like that. Well, all of us, we already went to this, so no problem. So that's our reality of human beings, right? So when you already separate, so in the beginning we are very happy together, and then we separate, and then if we are suffering, because we see the other person not being happy, but not with us. This is the proper mean that actually that the relationship before was not established on the top of love. It was just established on the top of attachment. From mouth, we say that it's love, but it's attachment. So because it was established on the top of attachment, actually, so definitely if that person is not feeding you back, and so you're suffering. That's why the suffering exists in that moment. So how to reverse the attachment that you are feeling that moment, that you are suffering, seeing that person being happy with the other person, in that moment there is nothing to do, because that suffering, seeing the other person happy with another one and so forth, but seeing the person happy, doesn't matter with whom, but happy, is just a result. So it's a result of something that you already planned. It's the result of some cause and conditions that is already planted and already coming together. So anything that we experience is the result of some cause and conditions coming together. So if in that moment that you're together, it was just on the top of attachment out of one's own benefit, you planted the causes. You planted the cause of your own future suffering, and then external conditions came, whatever, that person left for whatever reason, and then after, if that person come together with another person, then the conditions came for the result to be experienced, that is your suffering. So in that moment that you are suffering, and that you are suffering for this reason, so there's nothing to do, because it's just the maturation of it's just a result, the maturation of whatever you already planted before the cause and condition. So this is very clear when we study the texts, like the valid cognition text of Dharmakirti. It's very clear written there. So you have to be brave in listening this version, okay? Inandi samra maresa ani di jela yankire yankan ani gyurtugirira.
Tani ketani soso nonchi yo pata hako karze tikabla te hako ore soso tanga shiuchi ya poche yo sana soso kyamba tonda ma to pashol sablo tanshi me soso nonchi sho ta hako gondo kaptele on sonza ten soso nonchi sonza soso nonchi sam tanji go yang zewan ro asli ngol sablo tana yang kangija te ziyong segre.
But also there is something good in this side, that is, okay, oh, now I'm suffering for this because I planned the causes and the conditions for that. Okay, so you can understand and be aware of all the defeats of living on the top of attachment, right? And so then you can take your own actions. That is, okay, so from now on, I really try to understand that actually the relationship that I had before, it was for my own choice, it was for my own benefit. For this reason, now I'm suffering. And so I don't have to be like that. I don't have to act like that. I don't have to be so selfish in the sense of just thinking on me. I have also to cultivate love towards others. And in the next relationships, I try to behave and to act and to really leave the relationship on the top of love, genuine love that is for the benefit of the others. And then I can experience happiness, which is not what I'm experiencing now, which is just the result of my own selfish attitude from the past. Okay.
Kela,
Yes.
Kela,
Just delay.
I have one confession. I know that we all practice Dharma, and we are supposed to purify our mind, our body, our actions, our speech, and our mind. It's easier for me to control actions. I can stop myself from beating or doing something bad. Action is easier to control, and speech is easier. I can shut up and don't say any bad words or bad things. But the difficult things is mind. I cannot. Most of the time, the mind run very fast, and that is the mind that's difficult to control.
The Katanta younger and also Namjan National Shore, Toma Mepani Magi Nomal Community, Comshi the Shik Cheta Sonsa, Deval Katikorto Martin, Nakianaso, Shetia Ninjeta Chamba Tanta, Tela Sopa Sopaziam, do not you Salutanta Mombo Chirab Sopaziam, Chambaziam, Nichi, Sevala Sopata, so Calicali, joking among Asso and joking among Lani. Samej ta secure yo sem chatam chatia ta de kitan ta sem chatam chadinga ta dinga ki kitan travel chechig ani tanji ka sawlo tani kali sawlo tani dina semba ta kali ndrondi kati na ti shol semba margin korea chi on sare mag sem go ni chada ka ya ta pena li lawo chi kyoni meje sonza sanji choden ding de chepa na le sem ni chepa manze se ya chi wa
sem la chepa
sem go ke tanji tema chokol ton ya ze sa chi mere Linga Kayore Mato, Sem Kamiri, Kalika Shuyo Sonsan, Makare Mato, Mogomari.
Yes, everyone understood her question. Yes, and so yes, actually, finally she said that we have to purify our three doors, the actions of our three doors, right? Body, speech, and mind. And so to purify, or at least not to repeat again and again the bad actions that we have, and physically and in speech is sort of okay, but at least to refrain for the mental bad actions, like immediately our mind without, isn't it charming, Yudaura? Without even thinking, the bad thoughts already are there. And so how to purify them and how to refrain them, actually. And then Geshe replied, yes, actually it's very difficult to purify, not just to purify, to transform the nature of the thoughts. because we are so habituated, and so immediately our thoughts go to a wrong direction. And so that's the reason that in all texts, like in all the advices that we got from our main teacher, that is Buddha. And so he usually says that it's important for you to cultivate, to be familiarized to the good thoughts. For example, that's the reason that we have the thought of love, compassion, patience, and so forth, understanding, and so forth. Again and again, try to understand what is this, how to apply this, what are the reasons to act in love and compassion and so forth. It's just to retrain our mental thoughts, our mental attitudes towards the right direction. Because like we are here exactly because of this, because we are so habituated in the bad direction that actually we are a slave of these bad thoughts that drive us to have bad actions, physically bad actions, and speak in a not nice way. But this is just the result of the bad action, the bad thoughts, and so forth. And so it's very important, just like Buddha said, to recollect or to cultivate good thoughts again and again, just to familiarize oneself to the positive direction. Okay.
Thank you. Ella, I tried to tame my monkey mind. Thank you. I tried.
Voilà, ça.
Thank you. Questions? Anyone about
You
anything?
said that like attachment and love also extends to objects and stuff like that, like stuff in our regular lives. So how should I react, or like what should I think, or where should I direct my mind when I lose something or something gets destroyed, or like, because I feel that I'm probably attached to the object, that's for sure, because it's something that I'm using. But how should I react to an object being destroyed, or something I made gets like lost or something like that?
Ani chala tanriwa ani kechara pernanda ngaso ani ngaso ngopo kashiga ngaso shukshempo chagi resra ngaso du chada o ngaso chala la chakpa chagi resra ani da parupura yang seo senamido ni chakparang resra inang parupura da yamena chala di tor yamena la yamena kuma shor karina de kabla inda inga sem kipo mai pada o chadu res ani sem kipo mai pa machaya chedura yamena sem mapaya chedus kare chegore kelsi chitanchanga karichinanga chakpa yosna kinanga pichutangyo
So ngi chala isam
ngi chala
kita
isam.
la sona ta sema ma ki pa yungro.
Ngi chala re kirang chala kemudra
Now je chikchat manche sa no chu na la china lutan che chi she yor.
lutan
Sil top sona tel pen to sho zeni sa nga zo chala ra la ya ta tinji china sa lo te ta. Hako son.
하고 인지 땅에 단달래기 믿어 야야 다슨 땅에
제가 파쇼를 펜토소나 삼니 단다 사울로다 땅도나 추초니시나 되게와다 김바야 창조레데 우리 소속 나니 오다티 그막 쇼리나 그마들 그 펜토와쇼 펜토야 보죠 니 소속 로데야 지금 스테야나 진지 자니 마데본드 차카레세젠 타비시문도
yes, I just don't remember the English word, but I'm gonna explain, okay? So what we can cultivate in that moment of not being angry or not be frustrated and so forth by losing or seeing whatever you like to have been lost and so forth, is like to cultivate that mind of just letting go, like letting go, or sort of a little bit of renouncing of having that thing for you. Okay, not renunciation, but renouncing to have the thing for you, because actually you just become frustrated, angry, and so forth because it was something that it was yours. So that yours thing is very important, because if it was because my thing it was important. So if it's someone else thing is lost, like you don't care, but it's mine. So that mine thing is a little bit. Has something to see, but anyway, and so what you can recollect is habituate cultivate the habit of, okay, so if I lost or whatever something that it was mine, just try to cultivate the letting go, so renouncing to have that thing, okay, and then not just renouncing or letting go, but why cultivating that mind, because actually if you just let it go, maybe whatever I just lost now to someone else, may that thing at least benefit that other person. Because if you let go, you just leave this from your heart, and not only that, you can even transform that angry state to a virtuous state of generosity. You can just let him or her like enjoy the thing that I just lost to that person or that was stolen and so forth. You can even transform to a positive, virtuous mind. Because a part of this, like if it's destroyed or if it's stolen or so forth, like you don't have so much, you have nothing to do. You have nothing to do to recollect that thing. And so just transform your own attitude is better for you.
Alright. Thank you.
¿Qué más? We monks do this a lot, like mainly like with money, like we don't have so much money, but it's still sometimes it's even lost or we are stolen and so forth. In that moment, like this happened. Of course, in the right beginning, there's a little bit of uneasiness, but then immediately, okay, so let this be of benefit for of that other person, and it's okay. And then we don't have that, resentment and so forth.
아니 기라디 라 제와 뭐마 제와 라야디라 디시 간이 들어지게 하고
제와제아타 단다 넘버먼 세베 게스타 제아트리 라오르 넘버먼 세와제티 젤라 노 메키와 페마토나 노 메키세아 콘센 초코남게 손데아죠 오틴 텔라오르 노 메키와 사움로치 디스투뇽 노 메키와 사울로트 잠바타 닌제타 하삼제아트 소로와 So we shall let you pay maton and not Tawani Kimar. Never must say guess as they are tears or is the one not so not you tell me the whole.
And so Anila asked about how can you really define love, genuine love? So the genuine love is that love without non-aggressive. Non-aggressive love, like non-aggressive love in the sense of His Holiness Dalai Lama all the time says that if you can benefit others, you do benefit, but if you cannot benefit, at least don't harm. This active attitude of non-harming, if you cannot help, at least don't harm the other person. This is the proper attitude based on genuine love. That is, I'm not, it's not aggressive, violent, non-violent attitude. So the non-violent attitude is that non-violent love and concern is that love and loving attitude that is actively non-harming the other person. Go for benefit, but if you cannot benefit, at least don't harm. Carissimi?
제와면은 초두기 말이스 나오라 제와면 나가서 시비레스 딜라이다 초두기 말라이다 야 제와 진주로 오라 말다 저 밤에 제와이나 이제 나오라라 사실 알려주는 충분히 캐리강들이 제와만이라 안 고속이 단디 두실라 지단이 고속라 로데세라고 말해라 아니 그 고속라 그래서 갖고도 차서 이거 아 고속이 내가 한 기호지민 주소해줘라
알레스틱 본로 데데니지 나야
처음에 나가서 초두기만 레이스 나오라니까 그냥 하시에 가려서는 충분히 나 밥만 먹는 그래서
야나 밤아도 샤브를 그러네 시시시
또 충분히 배선도 충분히
레레레
친구 차도 선발라 아니 그래서 이게 담비 선발라 이제 지야 배하라 하고
레레레
하고 인자니 그
지금
라소타 कर्जे गोरे कोल सेवा माथो परवा रे ता किंसों कोल सेवा चेंगे मारो रो कोई चिकबोन रो शू लाव दे रो
tisga kwani timu gira kontswani semie magrechi do
공부 개인기 있으면서 대자기 고지 티도 sem 라저지요 실수자이라 단다이 두세라 sem 라저인 배운 걸 고시 안에 나를 지속 가르는 sem 라저인 거 있어요 인상 단다 최 맞아 기다 셈 라 조디 상발아 맞아 치치 지고래 니니 지고래 라라고래 맞아 난 디기 포스템라 펜드에 주다 망 두세 그런 거지 거드리 라 이거 포스템라 강이디 예바리 근데 인상 단다서다 최라나 단다 지시 망고지 겨되고 저야 망고 차데 아니 지소야게 조요래 라기 라 인상 아니 디 요가 하실라 미디 동안 녀야 용기다 녀야 용기더라 지코랑이 동해식 체대 삼아지 갑자기 이거라 this deodo hello leadership 체대 용기다기라 탑시로 지나 삼스
레레레 당아서 이무근나사제더라
Himoknatsude semshumpadaude.
셈셈바리 이무나사제는 나서 ዝ볼ም 칼라자마라나 ዝፖ뇽저라 셈을 카라마라나 셈뇽저라 테르 셈손라오 마톰니 다스 이무그제티 일무게 보 무게제나 하고노 일무게 보아들어 자꾸 토말 게켄트 뭔가 삼나 텐도파니 용구요 사리상고 노파드 체타니 노파드 파체 타틴 노파 몽보치 참니고 레칸라만라제나타 체토나 마치나 몽보치 온 파르시 노팔 타메 손자테 돈다탄 저베야 요마르 만트럽티 테니 만트럽이 온디 파르시 셈시 차 컨트롤랑 셈팜 텐라만라치니 테 타마틀 kinsozego나 초와제고나 상말레 제와 라니 페티 나산로 텐디치 클레용고 사리타테 가시는 ዝ보는 그 제치그 녀타레제니아 셴인도 다 젠르지그 녀타이나다 셴이 소토아요기 마라 이나야 코레와 라이나 디소 통통게 저토 카포레타 코롤 이치 야보요 산로 텐지 갈리 케시시나 데펜토 오미요 사선즈레 마토 이치 메사지나다 자와니니 콜케샤 코론 로사 코론 요사마리 니티나사데 아니 이치 요사 나로 손즈이나 이치 요사즈기 케샤 츠치 무마샤네 셈리야포 데긴도 이치 메사즈기 갸탐바시나 삼니 나갸 탄자 텐디도 제아요 아망게 카본도레
Ichimechina.
소솔 지금 미틀 네바틀 코롤 이치제 산로 텐디 야포 온도 다메나야 소소 텐디 타토체니트 소 코츠 이체 용탑을 콜스 가본도 제탑을 탑시체 텐디 체나 콜 제니 텐디 라소자니 지금 땡고 제와유 지체 똥테소 라자자나 마토제 갈리 지체나 무카티다 라키니 지긴 사마리 몽봉 똥스
Okay, and so let's start. And so another question, very practical example. For example, there are some people that we say that we listen all the time that without love we cannot even survive. Why is that? Like since we are born, like we are fed by love from our parents and so forth. But what about those that are born and immediately lost their parents, or even like have problems in the infant time and so forth, and sometimes like we have not good nurturing of parents and so forth, like how this person really like survive without having love? On the opposite, like we can see in our, even in society, whatever we go, that many people, they do, we understand that yes, with love and compassion is good, like we monastic can even give this kind of advice and so forth, and because this what we study all the time, but it's still like in our own daily basis, like when we experience like problems and so forth, we feel harmed, like we do hurt ourselves also. And not only that, sometimes because we didn't have the proper love in our childhood or from parents, or it doesn't matter, like sometimes we grow up without trusting others. So we are people like we can't, like we can't trust easily and so forth. And so how to do this, like how to be beneficial and how to deal with problems when we have these problems and so forth. And so yeah, definitely when first of all, like the size of the size of our wishes or desires of wishes is very important to be aware of. Like sometimes we just want to have things and we wish to have or to live in a certain way. Of course, definitely it's not out of the wish of just to live whatever we want to live, will not bring us the safety and the lack of emotional safe and so forth. But for example, when we are this kid, for example, that was raised without parental love and so forth, and then she or he doesn't have trust to others. When it's grown up and then maybe it's sick and so forth, then she will experience also the caring of the doctors or the caring of the people who are taking care of that person, like the nurses, of the helpers and so forth. In that moment, by that own experience of being taken care by others, being cared by others, and then in that moment, that person will, so this is actually love. This is actually the caring. So it's not that, and from that moment on, by one's own experience of being cared by others, then that person will, so this is actually love, even if I was not raised with love before, but by experience, like in grown age and so forth, and then that person can raise again with love, with trust, because actually nobody lives on, there is no life without trust. So it's definitely, the trust is very important, but we can be inspired by others' example and others' experiences, not just from childhood. Something like that. We still have 20 minutes.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's not to do with the topic. Is that okay?
Good, great, even better.
So it's about meditation. So I haven't practiced meditation for so long, maybe a couple of years. No, I'm not a monk, but I've noticed in meditation sometimes you can end up in very beautiful states, but then when there's awareness, like say you find a deep sense of peace, and then there's awareness that you find a deep sense of peace, and the peace goes. So I'm wondering, is there a method or a kind of philosophy that helps to, I don't know how to express it, but to be able to rest, if you find a peaceful state, to be able to rest there, not to have this habit of noticing, I'm in a peaceful state, and the peaceful state evaporates.
Ani gonkola yurin po gonkia yes ani paruprola ni gonkia be kabla be shipte sta usana mi do da lugi deva tan sem gideva ngone nyom yes ini ante kabla kelsi ani sem shite nyopedices nga rajida oras ni rajida oda tista tagiras ale tana sem ni yugi shidedi tonancena lamsan shidedi me paso trugires bed me patrugires kelsi nga tonancena ne sem shidesena mi doda ani lutan sem gidewa de nyopedice nga consumne samshindo nga tonancena lado gires de invason sandi ani lutan sem gidewa di yu rimpo dea cedura dea la gonkia be kabla ani tapshi kareyores ke sana krisinga tonancena samshindo
jambala savlo yana lamsa shinro ndu zewara
tananga bet tananga mo gonkia be kabla tananga bet kipo davos ni raisons ra de raisons nyampe lo di kena lamsan lado gires kelsi ke kuch consumne tonamachena ani ngone ani rangshin pe kipo dawo ani ni sema ne drogures ina canzone tana dara mares carechugures
tanda natso chik savlo chaka mata ni lolo de dine kepo ndi chindwa terwa savlo chaka mata ni lolo ndi dine kepo chi yon
gomgya be kabla
gomgya te su te jingwa chamo zati ndungol ndrogo yore zini shu shengdu jirumbo chengse jingwa chamo shi yo
Shingo tis ba de inji dange chenso.
Jiwa chamo.
Mare. Inji dange hakoe. Daina. Tis gwa. Mare sleepiness tis gwa. You know the two obstacles of meditations. One is distraction, and the other one is I need that word. Oh. Just wait 1 minute. You know, in English, words don't come. Oh, laxity. Okay. So actually, when you're meditating, yes, it's true that if you don't pay attention in whatever you're feeling, you have that very good, not blissful, but actually very good and well-being state of mind that you experience during the meditation. Sometimes it's just like that. But then, if you don't pay attention so much, but actually, there is one of the two main obstacles of meditation that calls laxity. the laxity or the sleepiness, sort of. And the laxity there is gross and subtle. The very subtle state of laxity brings sort of this kind of sensation.
Tanda mukpa te yakpo ching ma ten taza lolo iti chiwa chamo ching te zi sendu ma nyop to ndu jib chikar zekor ma nyop to ndu chane lolo ndu chigre lisemi ka lolo te achu te le ngema ina gom yang ta ba yin zini tendri mombo shenye yore zi ina jirmbo che ti na le shem mukpa xar go lamdu ani shira shilo gondro ata yo marta ma nyekundro andro nyopto shu jendro ma rikpa tambo shu che de kore tani pa de ni koro gaba nyom joko tangen zang ngoni ga jani gom ga nang li se she jang ga dewa tale yona so ga tal tanze che chokre nga che chil de sa na nyima chil de sa na nyima dun tu de sa na choko to ma yona so ga tanze che to ya tindri le gre ze wo
De shinege
rimo de re tante de j'en ai parti already.
Yes, and so yeah, there are many people that do share the same thoughts or the same experience as you that, well, in the beginning, when I was meditating, it was very nice, very pleasant sensation and so forth. And then at a certain point, like I just couldn't feel that easiness or nice sensations anymore, or comes a very strong sleepiness and so forth. Actually, what happened is, in the beginning, when we are just under the force of the gross laxity, we just identify the laxity as being this very gross sleepiness state, just this. We think that it's just this laxity, but actually it's not. This is the gross laxity. Gross laxity or sleepiness, can I say this in English?
Sleepiness.
Okay, and so it's just this. But the laxity has also the very subtle form of appearance, of manifesting, which is this sensation of completely relaxed. Yes, it's the relaxed state of meditation, but completely relaxed, like almost like no strength, but not in a bad way, like just completely relaxed. And this actually is the manifestation of the core, the subtle laxity. Okay, and then after when you overcome this, like that, you really have to put effort in order to get rid of this subtle laxity, and then you get rid of this state, and then you go under you increase the realizations until achieve the shamatha and so forth. But before achieving this, and then you can achieve out of effort, then you can achieve the other state that is without this subtle laxity, that is a state of being completely ease of so they say pliancy or mental and physical flexibility, which is you are completely in a completely comfortable state, either emotional and either physical. Nothing bothers you, nothing harms you, either like physically or emotional. Like you can stay in this meditation state for days, like you are not hungry, you are not thirsty and so forth, because you achieve the physical and mental pliancy or completely comfortable mental and physical state.
Tanda te jiwa chimo te kyatani jiwa chamo te rakpa te tamare jiwa chamo te gomja ka mang la lila po te yongya chire mo te ma se jirimbo che ta gewa yin song yore tingol de na kebo yore ta yarjin ro yo mare ze gore tanda Compendo ni celigi papar shi so jiwa chamo ando shor son ale kapta ya boyo resi.
And even Rinpoche Lama Tsongkhapa says in his tests that in the beginning we think that laxity, because of the relaxation state, can be very nice and so forth, but actually this is not the case. The case is, first of all, we just experience the very subtle laxity in a very high state. It's not like easily experienced, okay? But if the person who already experienced the subtle laxity, actually is an obstacle to keep improving one's own realizations, okay? Because it stuck you, bring you stuck in that state without increasing. So this is you have to put efforts to get rid of this. Yes.
I have another question online, if that's possible.
Yes, Maurice, just 1 second, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I feel sometimes when I practice either yoga or meditation, sometimes I see people that are really good at what they do, or they have this visual appearance that they appear to be very good at this thing that I'm aspiring to be also good at. And sometimes it creates like an emotion of jealousy, and many times I feel like they are not being humble, and that makes me resent them, like to have negative emotions towards them, because they are very, like, you can see that they are very good, if you can understand what I
Yes,
mean.
yeah.
How can I redirect my emotions to not just to like turn off the negative emotions, but to try to just not have these emotions rise at all?
Thank you. Everyone listen, heard her experiences. So sometimes when someone is very good, either in meditation or in yoga and so forth, you're looking at the person and you know that the person is very good on, but sometimes maybe some jealousy comes, and or some jealousy, and not just some jealousy towards that person, but sometimes even some anger or some resentment because, she's too good. I know that she's too good, but she's also appearing as being too good, sort of. I can see her defeat, sort of her arrogance and so forth. And so, because she's too proud of her own qualities, which I see, yes, she or he is very good in this, but because she appears to this, she becomes so proud. And so, I become a resentment with this. And so how to redirect this? It was her question, okay? De paruplan mi kashe ani yonden chempo dawo so musu tongi dusra ani yoga senata ani gom karina ra konso yonden du ani konso halewa konso gi chawa kare china ni apo tuda dura ina paruplan nga mixa gidura ani nga yamena mixa gidu yamena da chadok dawo kedo gres chi che yangna 아니 고 원에 야포도 지네 안디 마세 고양 르르 할레와 야포도 지치라 콘소 안에 그래 나르게라 나르겔 키에네라 나르겔 키에네 나 콘트라다오 사도 유레지아 메나 사쇼도 유레야 메나 콘진다오 나케 유레스라 데모선사네 디 레뉴모라 레지아 메나 차우도 차라 레셈기 차우도 차라 레스 오 차우도 차디 삼로 차디 칸레스 Cedro Yureya mena tis namia taya karichigores.
Tan Pashol Yapochona Sosol Chonoyan Dumundu Tendi Savlo Tara. Sosola non Chikimari, Yapochi Mugayomari, te Samlo Yabjungaso Nakyo Kushira Pepcho Tango. Sosola Pematona, non Kigo Martini, the Savlon Ramadatani, Sosola Kangichedina. Tomato yo maritanji savlo yin chi muchi tango chi kechembor na gyanga su tonda chi na savlo to kono matani lekat ngel chonjong do te savlo jipcha tanda so solo non ki go mare ani ti no ma ki ma su su semle kange chi tsere ta ti chokari yore ti ta che amandu sambatri savlo tangye yo
de samlo tambora. Well, the first thing that you can think is think on, well, yes, her qualities or his qualities and so forth is harming me or not. Because if it's not harming others people's quality, it's not harming me. So what's the point of being unpleased or whatever? So this is the very, very first thing that you have to use is your discriminative wisdom, or you have to discern whatever is good or not in the actions of the other person. If that the qualities of the actions that the other person is appearing, like it's not even harming you, so there's no point for you to create another problem for you.
So Tendi Chaton Raw, the control Raw, the Tendi Lamvikal, Jimsen Chuchu Jasona, so same the Lamsan Jandro, Jimsen Chilisal, Nakarchinis Pazaina, Chinoniki Maso, Jimsen Chuchu Jasona, so same the Joan Road.
Just like, for example, when we have a jealousy or anger and so forth towards someone, actually it's just by very little reasons or very little opinion. Out of these very small reasons, we immediately create jealousy towards someone, or we get angry towards someone. So just for a little reason, usually wrong reason, but little reason, we immediately transform our perception towards a negative perception, like anger and jealousy and so forth. So for this reason, if you really think on good reasons, you can also redirect your wrong thoughts to non-bad thoughts for you. This is the first thing, okay?
Oh,
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, because here I don't have so much time today, so, and so that's why maybe we have to do one last question of Maurice, and then we have to finish today. Okay, Maurice.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
If you can
my
open
question is
your
about,
video, if can, Sylvia.
yes, sorry, my camera is not working, but
Okay,
I'll try to fix it next time. My question is about guilt. We were talking about love love and attachment, and I think that it can be also very hard to bear the feeling that out of many tries or many time trying, we still fail to do or to practice 100% true love and not attachment. And also when we think, or especially if we think about past relationships, family or romantic relationships where we have probably not done it in that way, like we displayed much more attachment than anything else. So my question is how to deal with this. I know that probably the first answer would be self-compassion, but what are your opinions on this? And if you have any other practices or tools, or how do you deal with guilt in these cases, for example? Thank you.
Mainly, the question mainly is about guilt, right? Of
Yes.
behaving in a non-nice way before, right?
Yeah, but mainly about this differentiation between love and attachment, because I think it's a very hard feeling to understand that we have not been able to truly love someone, you know, and displaying attachment. Yeah.
Ani yaya ta nani do chata mintsio kola ni gela sonso ke parkari yo ta me laso ani danga tso tandara nga tso ni samlotana tandara ni driva di samlotana da pelche ta do cha mans do chato la tara resra ina tso tso ani ngoma gidrewa ra tandanga tso rosora ka da ngoma tso do cha gone ta rangi driva sti cene pesa son kola nga prima pono son kola nie noi da nie kola prima no tucho son la sopatwa ani de kabla nga aka ngangarang kyune ne kares bangorita ani nga ni chitan kyune di mindo samne lamsang ke mindo nga kyune samatan mindo ngangarang kyune ani kyune tanto mindo nga ta nga duchare nga ranare gonda da nga la tsamare sra kira pe duchare nga rana la bira nga ran pe duchare kyune kasanga ma kyune ya puje ma son nga ran ducha di tolara de imbason inje toranga su guilty la girela ani de imbason sa di kres dolenche gire sra ani so sono mozine ine so sono kyune ani tanto di industria kadeshigo
non chikare ngolen che to mundulare
ngole jitu yumande ngole ta chegire ni anga ngone du chares imbare sra
yana ya tagaron ro yinsi
naran ro yins ke te mares aka kazanga nga mishema no tu treson ni no tu treson ina aka ngone mi du chare ngone tre pesa so ani ma shi parto nga du chare si tenga ngara la kyone da no turra mozin cena yang kyone tanto ma kare na mi da gyora tanto mindo da ramaris kaduina nga du chare nga ngarang zingira nga so gonda da o sena mindo da ke mindus nga ngarala ni la mindus
ale so sta chetani so le non
che nga kaduina ni dara res ra che nga ngoma nga mi shemani no tu Cesora. Ani de masanga kyone da de chigela nane pe ma huyang lapidus. Ani so kyon ngunzin chena yang da gyura maomba ni gyurta gyura yores. Ine aka kasang mani nutru pechin tu cheso pesare nga duchare pesare nga duchare kersi mi shema nga so kemindus lamna yang nga so tadung nga so ngara la pe kunzinda o pe shukchempo degido dikande dolenchigire
ale ta so le mambe chat deni meba zoto mun tela o
de kare porque la kare
mambe zeza so keso ta mambe tatni chia tate Draw ma say na tan draw ma say ma non tri ta chamal shwa yoro non tri se chu charni ngong ga tan yo sha ta che yore ta ta nga chu chen da za mare che nga ma ta nga ma ni non tri ta kamen da me mombo chi che yo sar ta ko non tri ge chu gyap to at pe mar sa ka yon de chem bo chi re te ni shol ga wan ro gom tan chi na nga sam na te pe nge ta ki tong ke non tri che to mun de zeng du sa so non tri che to sa na ta ni pe ya bo re ni so sem chi chak gwa chi o mara teni zon te ko langa ya pol ro na te gwa chi o mare sam.
I took a little bit of time translating because the word guilt, it's a little bit difficult to translate and so forth. So anyway, well, if you, first of all, it's very important for all of us to understand that all of us, we commit faults, like we go through mistaken actions and from beginningless time. So we all are faulty people, and we have done very bad things in the entire life and so forth, all of us, okay? But the very important thing is we have to recognize our own fault. We have to understand that we did something wrong, and then we have to really regret, and then to try to recollect that determination of not mistaking this anymore. And then when we recognize that it was faulty, our actions, and then, okay, oh, I did that wrong. Okay, this was not nice. And so from now on, I will not do this anymore. So, but the past bad actions, like you have to understand it was faulty. And then that understanding of being faulty, you have to commit to not mistake anymore in the future, just this. And when you understand that it was faulty, you have to, oh my God, this was faulty. And just by the sense of the understanding of being faulty or a wrong decision or wrong attitude, just out of this consciousness, this awareness of our previous mistakes, just this is a virtuous. And so we have to cultivate, we have to meditate in joy. We have to be happy just because we are aware of our own fault.
Na so ngon chelen yo sem da chi do sem darwa
Dosem.
ta chi ngi tan chi me se nge ma la ka che ma so te no chu no jin ha chang za wa chen bo se re tan chi to na so non chu sho ha ko jin da man ten yang yo te che ni ro re mo te ka to ta ten sem ba sem shi cha gwa che ma re ha chang ma ya ko cha tar.
And so if we are really able to recognize our bad actions and to create that firm determination of not doing these mistakes again and again and again, that's amazing. That's very good. And so you have to really rejoice in this. And so that's not bad. It's very good. It's like that. No worries. Okay, Maurice.
Very nice thought. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Tenin samcha. Ale da sanima jema yore yo mare konso kichetina gela la kichetina kariche.
Na chi cha me chora ta so.
So now we are, so because here in Dharamsala we are in monsoon, so actually we thought that maybe because of monsoon nobody would come and so forth, nobody was interested in this and so forth. And then we say, okay, let's see how many people will come today. And then we all came and also here. And so we want to ask you, if you are interested, we can do this again next Sunday, even like with the same topic, to keep again and again to reflect on this, or to change topic, like for meditation and so forth. I don't know. What do you want? And then we can plan the Ask a Monk, the next question and answer session for next Sunday. What do you guys want?
For sharing ideas, just one
Yes.
of many.
Yes.
I'm very interested to hear the Buddhist viewpoint on meditation. And
Okay.
understand more about that. I would definitely be here next Sunday, whatever the
Okay.
topic.
Okay.
Ta ja imbe.
Da Sangima Yona Yapodus. Oh, sorry, Sir Maurice, you think I'd like to understand? Okay, you already did. Thank you so much. Okay, Maka. And you guys will be here next Sunday, or you're interested in this also? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want also to send topics and suggestion topics, you are pretty much welcome, okay, to send this.
Na so.
Okay, so see you next Sunday. Okay, and thank you so much for everyone to be here. Okay.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you. And then after we leave this class, this recorded class on YouTube, okay? So if you want to listen again and again, okay? Okay, see you. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Sylvia, bye.
Thank you.
Tony.
Thank you, my dear.
Bye, Sarah.
Oh, kashe
Thank
kake ni sumsre. Ani ko arire.